All right, so there's like this drama going on with Bat Bunny and the halftime show, and I'm like, you know what? Let me check it out. Now, I'll say this as a someone who's from Puerto Rico. I'm from Ponce, as a Boricua myself. I haven't dug the whole thing into this, but I have seen certain tweets on Twitter, and I feel like I have to talk about this. So we're going to be reacting to a video because I think I didn't even believe how childish Trump was acting. It was just such boomer cringe. Like, I heard him saying something like, "Is an American because he's speaking Spanish?" I'm like, why Puerto Rico being part of US since 1898? What do you mean? If you want to blame anyone, blame the Spaniards. They're the ones who colonized us. Oh, of course, my VTuber avatar crashed. Yeah, okay, I don't know why it crashed, but yep. What the fuck? Anyway, so let's check out this video and see what people like. Let's get a freaking whole picture of what's going on. Cause Jake Paul said some stupid shit too. I'm not gonna be covering that part in here. That's going to be a separate video. Jake Paul said some stupid shit, and the motherfuckers just bitch out and started saying that his shit got hacked. That shit was so funny. Anyway, let's get to it. And I'll say this right here. I'll say this going back to Bat Bunny. Do I agree with all his politics? No, I think he's really like the whole anti-ice thing. I think that's kind of stupid. But I'm going to react to this video. But I want to know if they actually touch on about the politics and the certain things, because there is a certain reason why Bat Bunny dislike ice, and I don't blame him. If he doesn't bring it up in the video, then I'll probably bring it up and explain to you the politics in Puerto Rico and why it's such a big thing. Anyways, let's get started. As always, before we start this video, don't forget to give the guy a like and comment. I haven't reacted to it, but hey, I always like supporting. If I'm reacting to someone, I'm always going to provide the original video in the bottom. So,
Bad Bunny just had one of the most controversial Super Bowl halftime shows ever, at least politically speaking, with his performance being the first halftime show to be done entirely in Spanish and becoming the most viewed performance of all time. After years of protest against ICE and the Trump administration, to the point where the right hosted an alternate all-American halftime show with Kid Rock to push back against Bad Bunny in the NFL, Bad Bunny did something very unexpected. And
what he do? Because I know I don't know. Like, they always, every time I hear Bat Bunny does this really bad thing, when I see it, it's like, it's not even that bad. Like, it's not even bad at all.
Had a performance jam-packed, full of subliminal messages that I want to break down today. And to understand why this halftime show was both...
You know, I want to go back to this clip he showed. I know a lot of people were saying that he actually gave this to an illegal immigrant, and that's complete bullshit. It's a fucking lie. He gave that to him for a child actor. And the whole reason he didn't accept this whole trophy was because, and see, when it comes to Puerto Ricans, we don't really need validation from no one. So a prize doesn't really like mean nothing. It's just like basically the famous award. That's basically how you win competitions and stuff. Whoever has the most popular vote. So at the end of the day, a reward really means nothing. Doesn't really see nothing from a Grammy. It doesn't mean shit to him.
Breakdown today. And to understand why this halftime show was both so controversial and important, we have to know a little bit more about who Bad Bunny is and why this is so politically charged. Bad Bunny is a massive artist who's recently been compared to the likes of Latin America's Drake, and some even go as far as,
unlike Drake, he ain't cash no case. Don't compare her to Drake. Unlike Drake, he hasn't he's no pedophile like Drake.
To say that he's bigger than Drake already.
And Drake is worse. Canadian.
He's from Puerto Rico, which...
That was a joke, by the way. Calm down. No, the Canadians are gonna get mad.
Is important, and it's also important to remember that Puerto Rico is a U.S. territory and has been since 1890.
Yeah, we're so small. Like, if you were to look us up in the map, you wouldn't even notice us. That's how small we are.
This brings us to the focal point of what makes Bad Bunny being announced as the 2026 Super Bowl headliner so controversial. In September of 2025, it was announced that Bad Bunny, a Puerto Rican singer and rapper, was set to perform for the halftime show. As we discussed his impressive accolades and worldwide appeal, Bad Bunny performing at the Super Bowl makes sense. Even despite not making music in English, I think it's still fair to say you can enjoy a song even if you don't understand.
Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, I feel like I don't know if this is just me because we got stuff like this. Let me show you. Um, I get into a lot of culture's music, and I think that's part of like me being Puerto Rican. Our music, most of our lyrics don't really mean much. It's more about like how it sounds and whether you could like move to it. Can you dance to it? I think that's why I always end up getting into different cultures' music, and I don't even know what the heck they're saying. Like growing up, I have a super diverse music taste of music. So let me show you. Let me show you a song that I don't know, I guess this. See, we got music like this. Yeah, the man is literally singing about the cow, and the cow is his freaking wife. And he milks her, which is something dirty. But the lyrics are silly and stupid. We focus more about like the vibe of the song.
And it, like we've seen with Despacito or Gangnam Style being huge hits.
I fucking hate Despacito. I'm fucking sick of hearing that song. I hate that song.
The US. As part of the announcement, Bad Bunny said, "What I'm feeling goes beyond myself. It's for those who came before me and ran countless yards so I could come in and score a touchdown. This is for my people, my culture, and our history." Ironically, this was a bit of foreshadowing. This is where things get political, in large part because Bad Bunny performs almost entirely in Spanish, and he's been a loud and frequent critic of the Trump administration. In a tour announced by Bad Bunny, he has...
You know why? Something that I find kind of weird, that I find pretty hypocritical, is that, okay, so you know how, I'm not saying all white people, but there's a lot of white people that when you come to their, their English speaking land, we got to learn English, and we do that. But there's a wave of actually white people that want to move to Puerto Rico, so they got to pay, so they don't got to pay property tax. That's basically the only reason they moved there. And then they do this thing where they think that the whole world has to revolve again around them. Like everyone needs to learn fucking English. Everyone needs to revolve to their fucking whatever they're used to. Like, no, you guys expect that from us when we move to English speaking parts of America to learn English. Now, when you move into our land, you got to learn Spanish. Like, I don't know. It goes both ways, buddy.
No plan stops in the continental US. In interviews, he's explained the choice, saying that the decision was...
There's also this wave of thing of like, there's like this, I don't want to generalize white people because I know there's a lot of good ones out there, but like there's like some people that move there and they try to take things out of context and they start recording, and they've canceled so many restaurants and stores that been there for like 50 plus year passed down from ancestors, and they cancel them and they can't have their business. So they come here and they're just like, why are you doing? Like, why are you behaving like this?
Was due to fears that his...
I remember this one time something similar to this happened, and the guy who was being racist to that white guy wasn't even from there at all. It was another white person. And he tried to cancel like it was the manager, and the manager tried to explain to him that doesn't work here. He's not one of my employees. And then he ended up canceling the fuck out of her, and she ended up talking about it on TikTok that because of him, her restaurant got canceled because the guy was making it look in the recording like it was one of her employees, but it really wasn't one of her employees. Her business was family owned, and only family members work in this store.
Fans could be targeted by Trump's mass deportation push. And after the Super Bowl announcement...
What he said?
By Trump's mass deportation push to the US. In interviews, he's explained the choice, saying that the decision was due to fears that his fans could be targeted by Trump's mass deportation.
I mean, I ain't trying to sound too base, but if I was ICE and I was trying to deport people, I would definitely go to a Bad Bunny concert because all type of Hispanics go there. I'm just saying. ICE, hire me. Shoot me an email. That's spooky at proton at me.com. Hit me up. Get that ICE job.
Deportation push.
Yeah, I can even do the fucking Mexican accent. No chingues. Take ay way.
And after the
I know the different Spanish accents. Hire me.
Super Bowl announcement, he alluded to the move on Twitter, saying, "I've been thinking about it these days, and after discussing it with my team, I think I'll just do one day in the United States." And he's been fairly critical of the United States before. Back in 2017, he criticized the lack of humanitarian aid in the wake of Hurricane Maria.
Oh, I can actually explain this. So basically what happened was that when it comes to catastrophes and things like this, Puerto Rico always gets treated like a second-class citizenship in that area. And what happened was that they were asking for Trump at the time to actually do something to, help Puerto Rico. And basically Bad Bunny got really mad and he took a cruise with Daddy Yankee and he started picking up people that were in the water and were out of home and to a cruise to like take care of them, like party or whatever. So they won't be, in that mess. And basically this made Trump look really bad to the point that Trump actually did something and it made him look really bad. It embarrassed the fuck out of him that a celebrity actually had to do the president's job. And I feel like that's when the beef really started between Trump and Bad Bunny. I know Trump likes to pretend like he doesn't actually know Bad Bunny, but he definitely does. Because I remember that was the first time I saw Bad Bunny where Bad Bunny started to look like he really started to dislike Trump. It was around that area because the way he treated Puerto Rico. But before that, he didn't really show hate towards Trump or anything.
Which devastated Puerto Rico. During a benefit concert for hurricane relief, Bad Bunny...
Well, I wouldn't say hate. It's like this, like he doesn't respect him, in other words.
...wore a shirt criticizing Trump with the message, "Eres tuitero o presidente."
Tú eres el tuitero o presidente. Okay, so this basically means like, are you a tweeter? Like, in other words, are you going to tweet all day? Or are you going to be the president? You know what? I kind of agree with this freaking take. Not now, but the first time that Trump was president, he was tweeting more than what he was doing. But I know there was a pandemic and all that. But even before that, that man was out here tweeting more than actually being a president.
Which translates to, "Are you a Twitter user or a president?"
Muéstranos tu t-shirt, please.
Teacher.
He's throwing shots at him.
Tell us about
I mean, he's not wrong.
La camisa habla.
La camisa habla.
This is like back in 2017.
Es una pregunta para el pana. Va a tener que buscar un puertorriqueño o un
Oh
mexicano.
wait, I forgot. I gotta translate subtitles. Always. Fuck.
Fit concert for hurricane relief.
Yeah, I gotta
Bad Bunny
translate.
wore
I
a
forgot
shirt
about that.
criticizing
I speak Spanish, so I forgot I gotta translate because subtitles are kind of shit.
Trump with the message, "Eres tuitero o presidente," which translates to, "Are you a Twitter user or a president?"
Muéstranos tu t-shirt, please.
Teacher.
Tell us about this t-shirt.
La camisa habla.
He says my shirt speaks.
La camisa habla.
Yeah, es una pregunta para el pana.
It's a question for my friend. He's talking to Trump.
Va a tener que buscar un puertorriqueño o un mexicano que se la traduzca porque
Damn. He said you're gonna have to get basically what he means is you're gonna have to get a Mexican to translate this to English to him to see if he gets it. Well, a Puerto Rican, so he can
no
understand.
creo que sepa español.
Because I don't think he knows Spanish.
And his passion hasn't only been directed towards larger US politics either. In 2019, Bad Bunny took to the streets alongside other artists such as Ricky Martin and more than 500,000 Puerto Ricans. This was in protest of
Ricky Martin is still kicking it? Shit. I haven't heard that name in forever.
government corruption and demanding the resignation of their current governor. In 20
Yeah, so politics were really bad in Puerto Rico, so there was a lot of fucked up shit going on. So there was like a whole protest around this time, and basically there was corrupt governors that were literally stealing money, any money and aid. They're actually putting it off the table and keeping it for themselves. They were allowing also crime to just run free, and they decide who they want to punish and not. So there was a lot of political corruption. So eventually this whole protest that he gathered ended up making them resign. And I think one of the people in there ended up flying to a different country because he didn't want to face punishment. And we still don't know where he went.
22, one of his music videos criticized Puerto Rican utility deficiencies, gentrification in San Juan, and land and beach privatization, something which he would do again in his
San Juan is overrated. Ponce was at That's the bad side.
performance. And all of these themes are under the colonialism umbrella, which Bad Bunny often addresses both
You want kosher? You go to Ponce. San Juan is for the tourists. Ponce, now you got kosher. You got all mixes of koshers in there.
in his music and in his
All Puerto Rico is diverse. But I just feel like there's nicer areas. Like outside of Ponce, Bayamón, Mayagüez. There's if you want to go to a good beach, go to Mayagüez. You're not gonna regret it.
activism. Fast forward to the 2024 US presidential election, and Bad Bunny
And if you want to go to the countryside, go to Junta.
posted a bunch of clips of Kamala Harris criticizing Trump, especially after the comedian
Wait, the push from the Puerto Rican star Bad Bunny also posted videos of Harris on Sunday, and the blowback to Hinchcliffe remarks could have particularly significant impact on the battleground of Pennsylvania, where both campaigns have been heavily counting growing Puerto Rican communities. Okay.
criticizing Trump, especially after the comedian Tony Hinchcliffe made a joke about Puerto Rico at the Trump
Oh, I
rally, which
remember
took
that.
place at Madison Square Garden.
Fuck that guy.
There's a lot going on. Like, I don't know if you guys know this, but there's literally a floating island of garbage in the middle of the ocean right now.
That's actually a lie. So, in Puerto Rico, when I first came to this area of the English speaking area, I kind of got like, when I came out of Puerto Rico, I actually had like a little kosher shock because the air smells so different. And I noticed down here, there's garbage on the water and everything. And in Puerto Rico, the water has like an actual color. Down here, it just looks like black. Like it doesn't have like that bluish color like in Puerto Rico. Like, you know, you can see on top and you can see the little fishes. And the air was different. Like when I came here, the air didn't smell like, you know, like natural. All I smelled down here were like factories and shit. I'm like, bro, it's so different here. And at night down here, when I came out of Puerto Rico, you can't even see the stars at night. I was like, what the fuck? Like, I was like kind of shocked because I was my whole life, I was used to actually being able to see the stars in the sky and, you know, all that. There was like down here, it's like you couldn't hear animals at night or nothing. I'm like, well, I used to fall asleep to animals at night.
Yeah.
Like, you don't hear none of that. Sometimes if I get lucky, like a cricket. That's why I love Texans, by the way. Texans are my favorite. Like, if you're to, I know this is kind of like off topic, but like, if you're to compare a Texan and a Puerto Rican, you guys will have a lot in common. Like, I always say Texans are basically English speaking Puerto Ricans. We act a lot of the same.
I think it's called
I think that's why I get along with them so well.
Puerto Rico.
Alongside all of this, Bad
There's a lot going on. Like, I don't know if you guys know this, but there's literally a floating island of garbage in the middle of the ocean right now. Yeah. I think it's called Puerto Rico.
Alongside all of this, Bad Bunny is also known for his LGBTQ plus advocacy. In 2020, he appeared as the musical guest on Jimmy Fallon.
Oh, that's the album Yo Hago Lo Que Me Dé La Gana. I
brought
remember that
attention to the-
album. That album was lit. I like that album.
The killing of Alexa Luciano, a transgender woman from Puerto Rico. Attention to the killing of Alexa Luciano, a transgender woman from Puerto Rico. He wore a black skirt and a white shirt with the words,
Yeah, so basically the story behind this is like, so before that Bunny made LGBTQ, like, it wasn't really recognized or like the government just did not care. And it was actually pretty common where transgenders got killed and like not transgender, even gay people. Like even my own grandma, like I'm bisexual myself, my own grandma told me that because she already suspect that I was like a little fruity, you know? So she literally went up to me and told me that if I ever came out, she was gonna burn me and hang me up by a tree. And yeah, it used to be a pretty common thing. So after this whole situation, the government, you know, the governor of Puerto Rico and stuff, they started taking it more serious because they were just like not caring that these people were getting killed.
"They killed Alexa, not a man in a skirt." That same year, Bad
That was such a sad time.
Bunny kept up with his LGBTQ plus
Do you guys know the story of this video? So the story of this video was that he hired a girl off Instagram to actually do the vocals for this song, and he drew himself what he would look like as a girl because the song was actually sung from a point of view of a woman
activist.
about like dancing and partying, like how she just wants
when he
party.
performed in drag for another music video. On top of these kind of things, other public moments have pissed some people
Dude,
off
that
as well.
song has
Like at a
such
Yankee
good
game when
visuals.
he and some friends didn't stand during the performance of God Bless America. All of this resulted in what might be
He said.
when he performed in drag for another music video. On top of these kind of things, other public moments have pissed some people off as well. Like at a Yankee game when he and some friends didn't stand during the performance of God Bless America.
I mean, didn't freaking a football player did that too? And they let that go pretty easily. The kneeling thing.
All of this resulted in what might be one of the most controversial halftime show performance picks of all time, which even resulted in President
I mean, who cares that they didn't stand up? Like, I don't know why people make this such a big deal.
Trump
Like, I really don't see it. Okay, so you didn't get up. Neither do I. Like, it's nothing like I don't know. Like, we don't even get up. I remember the Pledge of Allegiance. I used to they used to say it in school every day, and I used to stand up for it. But eventually, it was like the whole school stopped really like making you do the whole thing of standing up and putting your hand in your heart and blah blah blah. Eventually, we listened to it, but we stopped doing it in school. Because if you guys don't know, I went to school in Puerto Rico, but after a certain time, well, I did high school down here. So, yeah, I got that, and they stopped doing it like 1 year in. So, I don't know.
chiming in about
I can see it. It looks a little bit disrespectful for sure, but like, okay,
the halftime
why are we talking about it now?
show decision.
I never heard of him. I don't know who he is. I don't know why they're doing it. It's like crazy. And then they blame it on some.
You know who he is. He's pretending not to know who he is. He literally embarrassed you when you didn't want to help Puerto Rico during the Maria hurricane. He literally embarrassed you and called you out. Then you actually did something.
Promoter that they hired to pick up entertainment. I think it's absolutely ridiculous.
And a lot of other Republican politicians mirrored this ideal as well, claiming to not know who Bad Bunny was or saying that it was a bad decision. But one of the main topics is ICE, a United States government apparatus that Bad Bunny has been very critical of. The United States immigration.
Yeah, this is the part where I don't really agree with him. Nah, I think ICE is not doing enough.
States government apparatus that
Keep in mind, I deported my own cousin. Hey, what can I say? He wasn't here legally, so to the fields again.
Bad Bunny has been very
See, this is another reason ICE should hire me. I'm the perfect advocate for ICE.
critical
Give me a sponsor, ICE.
of. The United States Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE for short, is a federal law enforcement agency under the U.S. Department of Homeland Security. Its self-stated mission is to,
You know, I'll be honest, like outside of jokes, like I've seen not a lot of ICE agents act like this. Most of them are, what I've seen, they handle themselves pretty well, even with the protesters are being a bunch of retards. But sometimes they say things that are like maybe if you're asking a question, but then if you're just going out of your way to like disrespect someone's pronouns, even if you don't agree with their protest, I know they're a fucking retard. Maybe they wouldn't be being called man if they didn't show up to that protest or whatever. But like, I remember watching that clip, and the white lady around is the one who actually called him the M-word. The trans lady was just asking him questions. He was just honestly she was just asking him questions, but she was calm. It was people around her, because I know there was a lot of outrage about this, and I watched it for myself, and I watched the whole clip, and it was actually the white Karens around them that made the situation worse. But the trans person didn't even use the M-word. They seemed pretty calm for the most part.
protect America through criminal investigation.
This is another thing I hate. Like, why do these Karens always think that they gotta like defend the LGBTQ and all this? You're to be honest, you're not really helping. You're actually making it worse, and the public is just gonna hate everyone. Let's be honest.
Stated mission is
They do more harm than they help, and to be honest, I don't even think they care. It's like the same thing with Butler and all these companies with wokeness around. They do it to make themselves feel good, but they actually don't. They don't give a shit about it. They don't give a shit about it. They don't give a shit about us. they're just doing it to get their little fucking brownie points. That's why it pisses when like a company freaking advertise LGBTQ stuff. That shit boils my fucking blood because I know that they don't give a fuck about it. Then you're gonna start spreading propaganda and stuff, something that the normal people in the community and don't think, and then they make us look bad. Then we got all these retards on the internet, this freaking loud minority making us look even worse. Like we don't need no one to fight for us. Like fuck, like shut the fuck up.
Is to protect America through criminal investigations and enforcing immigration laws to preserve national security and public safety. But lately, a lot of citizens don't feel like this is the case. Well, during Obama's administration, ICE was prioritized to go after people charged with serious crimes, or at least they were supposed to. The narrative seemed to fully shift with the Trump administration, directing the agents.
How come Obama doesn't get criticized for this? Because in my opinion, I think Obama had a way more harsh situation. Like, have you seen what he did to those kids in the camps? And the camps were a lot worse. Like, I honestly, personally, I think that Trump did a way better job. Like, I remember when I first saw that whatever crocodile, whatever that place in Florida called, I turned around and told my wife, bruh, I think I need to throw away my fucking Social Security. I'm going to be locked up in there. That place looks fucking nice, bro.
To target anybody it believed had entered the United States illegally. With this came some more high-profile raids at places of employment, places of worship, and places of education, which caused major protests and even arrests of US citizens. And this was just during Trump's first term. Things have ramped up quite a bit since then, with ICE receiving record funding from the Big Beautiful Bill. Beginning in December 2025, ICE began Operation Metro Surge in Minnesota, which was characterized by local police and journalists as a severe escalation of ICE tactics. As a result came some of the biggest anti-ICE protests the US has ever seen, which led to headline after headline.
I don't really understand people that are against ICE. Because, like, okay, so you guys are complaining that there's rapists and stuff. You can't go out at night. You're afraid that there's going to be freaking fucking rapists, but you're not allowed them to do their job and just deport these bad people. And then we got the president over here saying that, yes, we're going to do all this mass deportation, but then we're going to import immigrants to do tech jobs and all this. I'm like, well, I know many of Americans that will be more than happy to actually take those jobs. So what's the point of deporting all these people if you're going to import more people to take American jobs? That kind of defeats the point of deporting people to create more jobs. Because if you're importing them, it's like, yeah, they're legal, but wouldn't you rather give those jobs to Americans?
Then on January 7th, 2026, an ICE officer shot and killed 37-year-old Renee Nicole Good during an incident.
Like, I'm all in for deportation, but like, if you're not gonna give those jobs to Americans, it doesn't really make much of a difference.
In Minneapolis, Minnesota. If the ICE situation was tense before, it was now red hot. Protests exploded across the city and nation overall, with a massive amount of people displaying.
Okay, I'll take that thing back. Actually, yeah, I guess because they're legally paying taxes and stuff if they're legal. So yeah, it does make a sense, but you kind of get what I'm trying to say. Like, just give the job to the Americans.
Frustration with the agency's actions. By this point, polls showed that a majority of Americans thought as a whole, ICE as an agency had gone too far. Then on January 24th, 2026, ICU nurse Alex Preddy was pepper sprayed, restrained, shot, and killed again by DHS agents.
Yeah, but wasn't this guy actually being violent? I remember seeing the clips. This guy was actually being violent. So that's why he got killed. And he was known to do this. It wasn't just one time. This guy, I'm not saying he had it coming, but he definitely had it coming. Like, he was caught a couple times harassing ICE agents and even one time kick a car and kick the headlights off a car. So this guy was known. This was violent on more than one instances.
Allegedly after he attempted to protect a woman who had been shoved to the ground by federal agents. Remember how I said things were already red hot after Renee? Well, whatever gets even crazier than that is what the situation evolved into. So the stakes were very high for Bad Bunny, an artist who has been very critical of this organization. And Bad Bunny had
yeah, but the thing is, people are going to try to say that is because of ICE, but he was really critical of Trump way before ICE. He was critical. He started being critical to the point, the way he treated Puerto Rico doing that whole hurricane shtick was what made him be like anti-Trump. It wasn't like It wasn't something that just happened because he's just a retard. Like, it didn't happen because of that. It escalated to that because of how he treated Puerto Rico during that time as a second-class citizen.
A lot of pushback from the United States government. Corey Lewandowski, a senior advisor at the Department of Homeland Security, claimed that ICE agents will be at Bad Bunny's halftime show.
Benny, there is nowhere that you can provide safe haven to people who are in this country illegally, not the Super Bowl and nowhere else. We will find you, we will apprehend you, we will put you in a detention facility, and we will deport you. So know that that is a very real situation under this administration, which is completely contrary to how it used to be.
And again, the claim
And I agree. You should definitely bring ICE, especially in bigger crowds.
that ICE would be in attendance was echoed by other Homeland Security officials following the initial statement. While many adversaries of Bad Bunny claim an American should be headlining, a lot of proponents had continued to point out that Puerto Rico is in fact part of America. And Bad Bunny eventually
Yeah, it's been part of America since 1898.
addressed everything in his SNL monologue, saying he's still happy to be performing and that he believes most people are as well, especially emphasizing how proud he is
Now, I'm gonna rewind this. I want to say something. You know what kind of hurts me about some things about freaking like, okay, so hear me out. So Puerto Rico was pretty much colonized by a bunch of countries in the past. And then technically America set us free. But basically what happened was that, yes, in a way they set us free, but Puerto Rico had a lot of sugarcane and there was a lot of crops and things that we had. And when America freed us and made us part of America, they ended up drying up all the resources. And then Puerto Rico actually became really poor for a really long time. Puerto Rico was like really poor because they dried us off of resources. And currently right now what's happening is that they're drilling holes. I don't know why. I don't know if it's petroleum or whatever. I don't know what the fuck they're doing or what's the intent or why these holes are being drilled. But America is like drilling these holes into the island, and there's these flags that hold Puerto Rico in place, and then drilling so much is causing the island to actually come off. So eventually Puerto Rico is going to sink, and for those that don't know, Puerto Rico is an island that was actually formed by an underwater volcano. So, and this is causing a lot of earthquakes to happen more than they're supposed to happen.
most people are as well, especially emphasizing how proud he is to represent his Latin culture. When asked why the NFL chose Bad Bunny during a press conference, NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell answered, "He's one of the leading and most popular."
Like, I'll be honest, I don't really hate America, but I disagree with a lot of things. Like, I love America. I love that we're part of it. Another thing that freaking hurts me is like we're considered U.S. territory, but we're not considered a state because we're too small, and that's kind of like, ouch. Like, why? Because we're too small. But you guys have no issue setting a military base there.
Entertainers in the world. That's what we try to achieve.
I don't know if there's a military base. I think we deserve to be a state.
It's an important stage for us. It's an important element to the entertainment value. It's carefully thought through. He also added on that despite the backlash, he has no plans of canceling the performance, since the move was made to attract younger audiences. And he also pointed out that he's not sure they've ever selected an artist and received zero criticism. In response to all of this, Turning Point USA, which was founded by Charlie Kirk and is now owned by his wife, Erica.
Wait, who owns what?
Turning Point USA, which was founded by Charlie Kirk and is now owned by his of canceling the performance, since the move was made to attract younger audiences. And he also pointed out that he's not sure they've ever selected an artist and received zero criticism. In response,
I mean, though, here's the thing how I see it. Bad Bunny originally didn't even want to perform there. They kind of just backed him to show up. He didn't even want to do it originally. They pretty much had to back him and convince him to come in. So if anyone has an issue with him being there, just blame whoever invited them and asked them to be there. He didn't want to be there either. Trust me.
to all of this, Turning Point USA, which was founded by Charlie Kirk and is now owned by his wife, Erica Kirk, announced that they would have their own alternate halftime show, which we'll talk about a little bit more later. A week before his performance, Bad Bunny had the first Spanish language album of the year win at the Grammys. He said in his acceptance speech, "I want to dedicate this award to all the people that had to leave their homeland, their country, to follow their dreams." He also said, "Before I say thanks to God, I'm gonna say ice out."
Right here, he did not want to win it.
is now owned by his own alternate more later. A week before his album of the year win at the
No, let me show you guys. Right here, he didn't even want to win it. Now, let me show you some on Instagram. The harassment campaign got so bad that he actually had to like delete his comments, his pictures, because people were like spamming him. And he pretty much had to disable his account for, well, not disable, but he had to just delete all his posts because the hate campaign. Like, this is unhinged shit. Well, you go out of your way to just fucking harass someone. There's no need for all that.
Grammys. He said in his acceptance speech, "I want to dedicate this award to all the people that had to leave their homeland, their country, to follow their dreams." He also said, "Before I say thanks to God, I'm gonna say ice out. We're not."
The only reason I even left my island was because there's not enough jobs. I'll be honest. If not, I'll still be in Puerto Rico. Like, I love it there. Like, I did not want to leave there. Like, I hated it. That shit fucked me up. Like, it's so different down here. I wanted to go there, but the problem is that Puerto Rico, there's way too many people in one island and not enough jobs. So you gotta really, really know someone to get in a job, even a professional job, even as little as a fast food job. You gotta really know people in order to get a job or move to a city that, like, barely has a population.
Savage, we're not animals, we're not aliens, we are humans and we are Americans. After all of this buildup, I'm sure you guys can see why.
Yeah, you know, that those comments kind of hurt. Like, this is something different, but I know I saw a VTuber. I'm not gonna name any names, but I saw a VTuber that they got insulted by a Puerto Rican person, and I'll be honest, that Puerto Rican person was a fucking retard and was going against Kyoshi, but then fuck. Let's delete that. They were going against a specific VTuber. And basically their response was like, "Oh, Puerto Rican. Not real Puerto Rican. I'm not real American." I was like, ouch. What about your other audience that's freaking Puerto Rican? Only because you're mad at someone doesn't mean you gotta make an insult that direct. Like, sheesh. That's not all of us. Not all of us are like that. That'll be like, because the black person is stupid and doesn't agree with you or insult you, you're gonna go on and call the hard N word. It's just like first, ouch, and what the fuck does that have to do with me? I didn't say it.
His halftime show performance
Pick it up with them, not the whole community.
Was so important and was bound to be so controversial. But Bad Bunny did something that was, in my opinion, very unexpected. Rather than making a huge, overtly political performance, protesting against Trump or ICE, Bad Bunny chose to celebrate his culture.
Like, I'll be honest, I watched the halftime show and there was really nothing political in it. I wouldn't say. He literally just showed the culture. It was literally just them, symbolizing the sugar cane, blah, blah, blah. Basically, like, what Puerto Rico used to be like before, you know.
Culture and unity, with a lot of subliminal messages packed in his performance. From a bird's eye view, Bad Bunny was...
Bro, they messed this up. If Bad Bunny wanted to make a bigger stereotype, he should have put two old mans here playing dominoes. That would have been the perfect stereotype.
Subliminal messages packed in his performance.
Dominoes and cigar.
From
And some drinking rum.
a bird's eye
Oh,
view,
coquito. Oh, I love coquito.
Bad Bunny was taking
Piragua. Dude, these are so fucking good. I like samburesa y parcha, my favorite flavors.
a walk through various parts of Puerto Rican and Latin American culture, which honestly kind of reminded me of Lil Wayne's A Milli music video.
Nah, get tacos out of here. Tacos are not from Puerto Rico. I was kidding.
Regardless, though, the set was meant to resemble the sugarcane fields in Puerto Rico, and
Before he got all drained.
funnily enough, the green
Oh, look. They put taino kosher in it, too.
set was actually just a bunch of people. One person on Reddit said, "This calls out Puerto Rico's slave history and being exploited for its resources and labor. America invaded Puerto Rico in 1898 and devalued their currency."
Okay, I usually don't agree with Redditors, but this is actually true. Puerto Rico was under slavery for a long time because of the Spaniards. That's one of the reasons why we speak Spanish. But my great, no, wasn't my mom? My mom's great. No, my mom's great grandma. I was really little when I spoke to her. She ended up living to 120. I know. She's really old. Anyways, I used to have someone to translate for her because she didn't even speak Spanish. She only spoke French. But yeah, slavery was in Puerto Rico for a long time. They basically committed genocide. Well, Christopher Columbus did the whole thing where they took the gold and stuff, and yeah, they raped a lot of people. They committed genocide. At first, they were losing by a little, but then the diseases started killing us, and the rest that were left behind pretty much got torn into slaves. And it wasn't just Christopher Columbus. It's been colonized by many different countries. But yeah, it was a shit show. And my grandma, she told me that when my great grandma, right? I don't know. Anyways, she told me that when she was a little girl, she was right. She was a little girl when slavery still was there, and then they ended up freeing them. But yeah, she was around during the slavery time.
Appropriated the land, turned large agricultural areas to grow sugarcane. This resulted.
She spoke French, and now that I think about it, that's probably why they used to teach French in Puerto Rico. Now they changed it. When I was going to school in Puerto Rico, they taught really bad Spanish. English. They taught a lot of English that was like things that it's basically like how they teach Spanish down here, and they teach you stuff that you're never going to use, and it doesn't make sense. Like, I want to speak full sentences, which is one of the reasons why I came here. I had no idea how to speak English. I learned English through playing MMOs and stuff, and just socializing with people on video games. That's how I ended up learning English, and then I had a really thick accent, and I ended up losing that through you can still tell in some words that I still have an accent, but I was living with an English speaking person. That's how I was able to get rid of most of it. But man, our accent is hard to get rid of.
Resulted in lots of poverty across Puerto Rico. He played a snippet of Daddy Yankee's Gasolina, The Land, America, and funnily enough, the green set was actually just a bunch of people. One person on Reddit said, "This calls out Puerto Rico's slave history and being exploited for its resources and labor. America invaded Puerto Rico in 1898 and devalued their currency, appropriated the land, turned large agricultural areas to grow sugar."
Talking about rum, you know what my great grandfather on my dad's side, he told me that when he was a U.S. soldier, like when he was a U.S. soldier, and he was like a colonel. He told me that when they used to stop by Puerto Rico, they say that the rum down there is so strong that they used to use it to clean their rifles.
Sugarcane. This resulted in lots of poverty across Puerto Rico. He played a snippet of Daddy Yankee's Gasolina. This resulted in lots of the land, turned large agricultural areas to grow sugarcane. This resulted in lots of poverty across Puerto Rico.
That's what I was saying earlier. That's why every time you ask I'm gonna just say like Boricua, because in case you didn't know, Boricua, we call ourselves Boricua because Boricua basically before Christopher Columbus came, he named it Puerto Rico, which meant rich port. And it was because there was a lot of gold. But before that, it used to be La Isla del Borinquen, or El Borinquen, which that's basically what the name was. The name of the island was before, but then it got changed by Christopher Columbus.
Did a snippet of Daddy Yankee's Gasolina and said, "You're listening to music from Puerto Rico, the barrios, and the projects." By the way, sorry guys, I just can't roll my R's. I don't know.
Puerto. Repeat it with me. Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico. Like port. It literally means rich port. Puerto Rico. Puerto as in port, and Rico as in rich.
What's wrong with my tongue? But just I'm gonna disappoint you in this video. I want you to know that. He also handed his Grammy to a young boy who many people actually mistook for.
Yeah, this is what I was saying earlier. Like, a lot of people fucking said that he was an illegal immigrant, but I really wasn't. It was literally a shout actor.
Liam Ramos.
I know the left wants to convince themselves that that's actually what's happening, but it's really not. They're just spreading more propaganda and shit like that and making us look even worse. It's like shut the fuck up, man. Like, just stop.
Young boy.
And if you go to Puerto Rico, like, people in the left, they think that Puerto Rico is like this super woke place, and it's really not. We're base as fuck. I mean, we become more accepting of the LGBTQ thing, but they're still base as fuck. We still call each other maricon and shit like that, which basically means fag. Usually you call your friends like, "Hey, maricon, ven acá." That's like telling your friend, "Hey, fat, come over here." That's how we address our friends. O cabrón, which means basically a whore.
Who was detained by ICE, but it was actually a child actor named Lincoln Fox.
Insults are not bad for us as long it depends on the tone that you say. And insult can also mean a sign of friendship.
Did a bunch of cool cultural things throughout the whole performance, like inviting Toñita, who is the 85-year-old owner of Caribbean Social Club
Doñita. Yo, I actually know her.
in New York, a popular and last of its kind
Yeah, she started in Puerto Rico. This woman, she's so known in Puerto Rico. Like, she's super famous.
establishment because of gentrification. Some people were saying stuff like the taco stand being called Villa's Tacos represents Pancho Villa, who was the only person who invaded the
I
U.S.
had no idea she had a place in New York. Damn. I remember her when I was a little ass kid.
It's also the name of a taco shop, so who knows, maybe it's both meanings, I don't know. In regards to the food stands in general though,
Quick fact, my great grandma on my dad's side's name was also called Doñita.
another Redditor said, poverty is a big topic of conversation here. The coconut stand, nail salon stand, and taco stand emphasize how Puerto Ricans and in general how in Latin
Poverty is a big topic conversation here. The coconut stand, nail salon stand, taco stand. Okay, we don't got tacos in Puerto Rico, get that right. Emphasize how Puerto Ricans in general, how in Latin America you have to hustle and get creative to get by. Yeah, I think I'll agree. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. Also, I think like Bat Bunny wants to so the thing is, believe it or not, a lot of Hispanics are racist against other Hispanics. Now, like the modern generation is not like that as much, but the previous generation, there was always like a competition with them. So I feel like in a way he's trying to unite them. Because like if you notice now other Hispanics are now like really hate other Hispanics. I never got the thing, but I was born in '98, so my parents didn't really race me like that. Now, my great great grandma, on the other hand, she was a different story. She was racist as fuck. But that's because she went through slavery, so it makes sense why she was racist. Okay. Very common to walk around the block in these countries and bump into so many small businesses. Yeah, you always got to support your local businesses. Also, it's why boxing appears as well. Boxing is common known way out poverty, especially in Mexico. Famous boxer give people hope to be.
America, you have to hustle and get creative to get by. It's very common for people there to open food
Yeah, let me tell you a story. Let me tell you, this is not hustling, but however, in Puerto Rico, at least where I live, there was no hot water. Like, I don't know if it's because I was in the hood. I used to live in Ceiba, and the water was so fucking cold. You couldn't even try to get hot water. I used to have to take a bucket of cold water before school, and I used to have it to hang it on a palm tree. I used to have to climb a palm tree, let the bucket of water there heat up all day, so when I came back from school, the water will actually be hot, and I could actually freaking shower with something that's not ice cold water.
stands to feed their families. Very common to walk around the block in these countries and bump into so many small businesses. Also, it's why boxing appears as well, since boxing is commonly known as a way out of poverty, especially in Mexico. There was
You forgot about lucha libre.
also a couple that got engaged and then married.
My grandma on my dad's side used to actually be in lucha libre, like back in the days when she told me when it was real. She's told me so many stories. Her name used to be La Tigresa. She was actually like La Tigresa. She was like a wrestler, it was basically like wrestling and shit, like lucha libre, like like the cage fight. She even told me how they did like the fake stunts after it started to get more fake. That's usually around the time she ended up retiring.
During the performance with Lady Gaga singing at the wedding, and apparently the wedding was real too. Others suggested
I don't trust Lady Gaga. Lady Gaga looks like she'll be into like some Illuminati secret government cult that controls the world. But I'm just a paranoid retard. I'm a conspirator. She gives me vibes that she's in like a secret society controlling the world. Like some of her dances and her music videos look really ritualistic. Yeah, I don't need to wear the tinfoil hat no more. because we're about to find out.
that Lady Gaga performing at the end of the wedding bit was critiquing American tradition of inviting Latino artists to sing at weddings as if they were just entertainers. He also
Oh, who cares that she's not Latina or whatever? Who cares? If you party with us, you're one of us. We don't fucking discriminate. You're white, black. Who gives a shit? If you want to party with us, party with us. Like, we don't discriminate. Like, who the fuck is even criticizing this? Is this the laugh again? Because the laugh likes to talk a lot about their ass and they haven't even lived or even know the culture. They think they know the culture and they think they're defending you, but they're really not. They're just talking out of their fucking ass. Like, just stop making things worse.
had a bunch of other celebrities out there like Cardi B, Jessica Alba, Pedro Pascal, and many more.
Now, I'm going to be a hypocrite. I don't think Cardi B is a full Puerto Rican. She's kind of embarrassing, I'll be honest. She kind of embarrasses the fuck out of me. And isn't she like half Cuban or something like that?
But Bad
She makes other Cubans look bad. And those are our neighbors.
Bunny
By the way, do you guys know that Cubans are actually really good at baseball?
also included some more political messaging aside from just the showcasing of culture. At one part, Ricky Martin, one of the biggest Latin music artists ever, who is also from Puerto Rico, sang a Bad Bunny song called What Happened to Hawaii. He sang the chorus, which reads, "They want to take away my river and the beach too. They want my neighborhood and for grandma to leave, because I don't want them to do to you what happened to Hawaii." This song is very obviously about US colonialism. And if you guys don't know how the US acquired Hawaii, it was very sneaky, kind of like, hey, let's just put a military base here real quick. We're still friends, we're still just allies. But let us put one more here. World War II happens, boom, martial law, and then they took it over. Then right after this,
I have nothing to say about that, to be honest. I mean, they wanted to be part of the country, but like, I don't know. Yeah, set a military base there. Were they taking resources? I need more context on that.
a bunch of power lines blew up with people falling off to illustrate power outages, since they happened a lot
But at least Hawaii gets to be a state. We didn't get to be a state.
on the island. And this is actually a really big problem in Puerto Rico, with one person on Reddit saying, "Storms and poor electrical infrastructure are a constant
Yeah, I know this guy in Puerto Rico that he ended up moving down here to the state, and he told me like I didn't go to nothing like crazy other than like shit breaking and stuff. But other people didn't get that lucky. Like I knew this guy that he moved down here to the States because he was during the hurricane, there was like a little kid outside and he was in the hurricane and the guy came up to like he started running to try to save the guy and a piece of metal just came down and just squished the little freaking kid. And like that kind of like fucked him up to the point that he felt like he couldn't be in Puerto Rico no more. And he ended up moving out of the island to to try to forget about it. Like it was rough. Like I got lucky.
issue on all US territories. Longest I personally went without power was 2.5 months on the island I lived.
You know, that's like every time power goes off in Puerto Rico, which is actually pretty often. Like when a hurricane gets announced, you see people lining up in fast food and like the grocery stores just fucking ordering food because sometimes even when like outside of Hurricane Maria, sometimes it'll be like a week or 2 weeks or even a month without power. It takes a long time for like the power to go back up
on.
because it's such a small island.
Many blame the poor
But like, there's not enough people in that field, you know?
electric grids on the United States for not giving.
Yeah, the grid fucking sucks in Puerto Rico. So does the internet. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's why in Puerto Rico, we're not like social media center and stuff because you actually go outside and talk to people and socialize. When I came down here, it was like a whole different bite. Like people are on the internet, people are on their phones and stuff. I'm like, it's so different here from Puerto Rico. In Puerto Rico, one, the internet is really bad. And the other thing is like people actually socialize and talk to each other, which is I kind of miss that a lot.
Them enough money or resources or attention to help out. Following this, he comes out of the field with the Puerto Rican flag, but this flag had the light blue triangle, which is usually used to
Yeah, it's a Puerto Rican flag. Quick fact, the Puerto Rican flag was actually made in New York City.
symbolize Puerto Rico's sovereignty and political independence, which contrasts
Our flag used to look different before.
with other versions of the flag that use darker shades of blue for the triangle, which is supposed to represent Puerto Rico's status as a U.S. territory instead. This is kind of crazy, but the OG
Yeah, this is Cuba. A lot of people get Cuba confused with Puerto Rico. Baby blue usually means Cuba. Dark blue is Puerto Rico.
flag was actually banned for a decade in 1948, along with anything remotely related to Puerto Rican independence. So there's actually a
Yeah. My grandpa told me all fucking crazy stories. He told me that in factories that started rounding them up and beating them up. He told me that cops used to actually chase them and beat them the fuck up. Like, he told me all fucking crazy shit. And he also told me about how they will exploit Puerto Ricans for and get paid less. Even back then, where they're already citizens, they exploit the fuck out of them. Now, for money, I haven't been exploited for money, but if you could ask any Puerto Rican that works in a regular job, and usually a lot of jobs will actually exploit you and do like 5 different jobs, while they rather have like the white person or the black person just do a regular job, and they go easier on them. And they follow us, that they make sure we're doing our work. They chase after us, micromanage us. And because we work really fast and they want us to go even faster and faster. And they demand that out of us, but they don't demand that out of other ethnicities because they're afraid to be called racist. And the thing about Puerto Ricans is like Puerto Ricans will take shit and they won't say nothing. They're just suck it up because we're like a really, like, I guess, thick skin type of culture. And usually when we speak up, that's usually when a lawsuit is coming. So we gather all the receipts, take shit for a long time, then we decide to take action.
lot of meaning behind this light blue flag. At the end of the performance, Bad Bunny spoke in English the only time in his performance, saying, "God bless America." Then he listed 20 nations within the Americas displaying their flags, including the US and Puerto Rico.
So I never seen him this mad. Why he looks so mad?
He spiked a football that read "Together We Are America," with a message on the screen in the background that said, "The only thing more powerful than hate is love." I didn't mention every single thing he did, but I'm sure you guys get the gist of it. This performance was jam-packed with meaning, yet seemed to be done so in a way that wasn't expected, following all of the heat that he got from the
I mean, I don't really understand. Well, how is it not expected? Have you seen a Puerto Rican? Go to a Puerto Rican house. Matter of fact, just fucking talk to a Puerto Rican. They probably got the Puerto Rican flag in their neck or tattoo somewhere in their body. We got that shit everywhere. We're really proud of our culture.
ICE discourse, the US government.
Yeah, you got fucking Jesus, a picture of Jesus. You got Maria right next, Santa Maria next to her, and then the Puerto Rican flag right in the center.
The people that were mad for him performing, and even the president himself. Speaking of which, Trump promptly responded to the performance saying, "The Super Bowl halftime
Matter of fact, I have one right in my room."
show is absolutely terrible, one of the worst ever. It makes no sense, is an affront to the greatness of America, and doesn't represent our standards of success.
The Super Bowl halftime show is absolutely terrible, one of the worst ever, makes no sense, and an effort of greatness of America doesn't represent standards of success and creativity and excellence. Nobody understands the words that the guy is saying. Yeah, but Puerto Rico is part of US, so who cares if you can't understand? We don't care if you guys can't understand it. We just care whether you could dance, get up, and vibe. It's all about the vibe, not like so fucking retarded. Nobody understands the words is saying. You know, this kind of reminds me of the time that he was saying that, oh, English is actually. I remember someone on stream, I think Big was the one who asked me. They asked me, hey, what do you think about Trump saying that English is going to be the official language in America? I was like, well, good luck doing that in Puerto Rico. Like, sure, in other parts, but in Puerto Rico, it's just not going to happen. Like, the education system is so low down there, they can't even get us to speak basic English. In college is when you actually learn actual English. And even then, you still get things wrong. Like, I don't think you really think you're gonna change everyone's language from a day to night. Like, I honestly simply think it's not going to happen. Nobody understands the words the guy is saying. The dancing is disgusting. I mean, yeah, I see that. Yeah, Puerto Rican dancing is called perreal. Yeah, it's really sexualized, but that's just part of the culture. Like, even if you go back to, like, back in the days, they had this, they were similar. Like, a lot of the dances were similar. Let me see if I could actually pull it up. Um, baile. I much prefer that he would have done this. Boricua tradicional. Like, if he was going for the kosher thing, I would have much prefer him to do something like this. Yeah, like this is more like the traditional dances and stuff. Then perreal is more like sexualized and stuff. But yeah, this is basically what our traditional dances are like. Now, perreal, I don't blame him for that. But if you're going to say, you know what? I'm not even gonna show it because I don't want to get fucking age restricted by YouTube. But I understand that part. I always thought it was weird. Like Puerto Rican nature, even like the lyrics of the song, everything's so over sexualized. And I agree. Like that's always something that's always bothered me about my culture. Like, why does every song has to be sexualized? But if you're gonna criticize him, like, I you're not gonna like criticize Cardi B and all these female rappers like that do the same thing.
Creativity.
Let me see. Dancing, disgusting, especially for young children that are watching through the US and all over the world. This show is just a slap in the face to our country, which is setting some new standard records every single day, including the best stock market and 1OK in history. Well, Puerto Rico, America actually has a lot of Puerto Ricans in the military. We actually did quite a lot actually in the military. A lot of like the best soldiers were actually Boricua. So I don't know. I feel like we pay our dues, didn't we? There's nothing inspirational about this massing halftime show and watch. It will get great reviews from fake news media. Once again, he uses fake news to discredit. Not everything has to be fake news. Some of it is, because trust me, I like the guy, but something he says stupid shit. Because they haven't gotten a clue what's going on in the real world. Yeah, I would say Puerto Rican, like people in Puerto Rico, they're too concerned with their own politics. A lot of times, some of them comment on American politics and they don't really know the whole picture because we're so outside of the world because we don't really like we're not terminally on the internet. That's one thing. We're usually like just watch the local news of what happening in Puerto Rico. Like once in a while we heard something about US, but like the rest of US, but not often. And by the way, NFL should immediately replace this ridiculous new kickoff rule. Make America great again, President Donald J. Trump. All right. You should be the last person saying make America great again because last time that you said one of the reasons I didn't vote for him, I wanted to vote for him, but Trump always does this thing where he starts strong and then he goes flaccid dick again. And one of the things that really pissed me off when he started his election is that he got involved in Palestine and Israel. And I'm like, do I look like I give a fuck about Israel right now? America has a lot of issues right now. Israel is the last thing in my fucking mind. What happened to America first? And it seems like he's revolving helping every other country and the conflicts that are in other countries because he's too busy trying to chase the Nobel Peace Prize instead of living by his word and what he said, America first. Yes, America first. Now we're starting to see some signs of that. Finally. But for the most part, that those few months, he was freaking focusing on every other country. And I wouldn't be surprised if he starts focusing on other countries again. Like when he says make America first and shit like that. Yeah, I don't believe that fucking shit.
Excellent.
Oh, wait. Talking shit for no reason. Make America great again. Oh, okay. So he didn't say America first. Okay, I'm a fucking retard. But anyways, I put it out there anyways.
But do you know who does represent all of these things? Kid Rock. I'm kidding, but we'll get there. Trump continued saying, nobody understands a word this guy is saying, and the dancing is disgusting, especially for young children that are watching from throughout the USA and all over the world. This shows.
I mean, we're used to seeing that. That's kind of like, yeah, it's wrong. I would agree with that part, but I mean, it's like to us, it's not really that sexualized. Like it's such a normal thing that it's like just another dance to us.
It's just a slap in the face to our country, which is setting new standards and records every single day. He yaps a little more and mentions the kickoff rule again, which is really funny. Regardless, while Bad Bunny was doing his performance, Turning Point USA had their alternate All-American halftime show, which I just have to mention real quick. It was headlined by Kid Rock alongside Brantley Gilbert, Lee Brice, and Gabby Barrett, who are all country artists. This event even had Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth and other US officials supporting it. And I think it's safe to say, politics aside, it was just pretty bad. I tuned in out of curiosity while this guy was performing, and
Unpopular opinion, I hate every Super Bowl performance. I feel like a lot of celebrities, a good majority of the celebrities I sing perform live sound like shit when they're live. The only band I could honestly say, the only artist or band or whatever that I could only say that performs equally as good live is Slipknot and Rob Zombie.
it honestly felt like a parody.
Oh, and Korn.
Life's hard to go through hell, there comes a time when you gotta slow down. That's what we doing now, when we chillin' on the girl. Lay back, swiveling like I'm Jules Jones.
It instantly made
That guy looks like he was in Rob Zombie. Wait, let me mute it. This guy right here, he looks like he will play in Rob Zombie.
me think of this Family Guy clip.
Gone really wrong, like that Kid Rock concert.
Oh my God! Help! He's having a heart attack! Is anyone here a doctor?
No fucking way someone's a doctor here.
Then people started pointing out that the audio was out of sync on the stream, which led to theories that it wasn't even live, which has been further supported in the media. And then people also started theorizing that TPUSA botted the stream.
Yo, is the chat frozen? I don't get it. Live chat, it's not loading yet.
I just wanna catch my fish, drive my truck, drink my beer.
Guys,
not wake up to all this
hello?
stuff I don't wanna hear.
Hello?
Same kind of gun I hunt with, just kill.
Even fellow conservatives like Milo, however you say it, and Candace Owens were claiming that it was botted. And even if it wasn't botted, it
Is that the skinny white girl, Milo?
was just pretty lame, trying to make people super mad over.
Wait, let me check. Is that like the little skinny girl? Milo. Let me see if that's what I think it is. Nah, that's just some other guy.
For something that really isn't.
I don't know who that is.
I think someone performing in Spanish for the Super Bowl isn't serious at all. It's not a big deal, especially when you look at it under the context of the NFL trying to grow their audience and compete with people like FIFA. Rather than just maintaining their position as the top American sport, I think they're trying to go more global, which would in turn make sense why they have other artists performing in other languages or other artists that have fan base elsewhere in the world performing during the halftime show. I mean, you even ended up having Nick Fuentes saying, "There is just nothing inspiring or attractive about what the white right has to offer in its current form."
Nick Fuentes said this? There's just nothing inspiring or attractive about what the white right has to offer in its current form. Hit rock again. Huh.
Rock again? Ugh.
Imagine being when the host or any normal person and shutting out at halftime because of Spanish and switching over to Rumble to watch Kid Roll like I think I would rather die.
The California governor, Gavin Newsom, was tweeting out Craigslist job listings.
And no one gives a fuck about Gavin Newsom.
Looking for actors allegedly for the Kid Rock concert, asking people to cheer and clap throughout the show, just as you would at a real concert.
I mean, for $200, I'll fucking do it.
I have no clue if this is real, but if it was, it would be pretty funny. Regardless, Bad Bunny had a very controversial, impactful, and meaningful performance that a lot of people may have missed, but it will probably go down as one of the most heavily contested Super Bowl performances of all time. But there are others that have been very controversial as well, like last year's performance from Kendrick Lamar. So to learn more about that and other controversial performances, make sure to click the video that's on screen right now.
This is stupid. It's not even that big of a deal. I don't know why people are making such a big fuss about this. It's just stupid and childish, to be honest. Anyways, enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. As always, stay spooky, stay weird, and I'll leave the video in the description. Bye.
You thought it was over. Everybody thought it was over.
Shot my dog, I can't stand. Yeah, shot my dog, I can't stop. Yeah, shot my dog until she drops. 2,000 volts straight in her top. Cause my dog can't stay in her spot. Yeah, got this remote on me like in my glove. If Kaya try to move, she out of love. She better know I don't